speaking of
Go ahead,
Joe and politics, you know what I mean? We can't have a show and not talk about the second impeachment of Donald Trump, which just happened yesterday.
Very no surprise, really.
No surprise that he got. Yeah, no, you're right. With what happened, just because being impeached for other things and other presidents that have been impeached for other things, how could he not get impeached for that? But I'm glad it went through. That's all I got to say. Because if he would have not gotten impeached for that, it would have sent a pretty bad message to future presidents. You know, like, this is how much shit you can get away with, you know?
Yeah, just wait till your last week to really start trying to take over the government. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You just don't do anything before, but wait till that last week, and then you can get away with it. Or it was probably like, the last 2 weeks. So it does, it lets future dickheads know that, okay, you can't blatantly try to overthrow the Capitol building.
Yeah. You got to be a little more sneaky about it.
You know, he should have been getting impeached about saying the election was a fraud when everybody in his cabinet was saying that, you know, this is the most secure election. There's no voter fraud. All the courts and the judges, you know, that's what he should have been getting impeached about, because that's what duped his base. So,
yeah, I don't know how that wasn't stepping over the line enough, but I guess it took a little more.
Right. It was clearly bullshit. Everybody knew it. We giggled about it. But, you know, they say words matter when you got power. Mm-hmm. And he convinced, you know, a few, you know, he convinced some crazy people to go down there and do that shit based on stop the steal, you know? So,
yeah, it's kind of scary, man. Just imagine like being in that area, you know, like if people live in that area and then all of a sudden, like, there's just this mob of people. I'm curious as to how many of those people were there in like actually planning something. It was a pretty big group of people. And I wonder how many of those people were just there and how many people were actually there to incite violence, knowing that, like, okay, if I start smashing shit, other people are going to start smashing shit, because that's just how humans are.
You know? Yeah, I don't know. They're coming out today saying that a lot of it is, you know, it was coordinated. You know, they had somebody gave them a tour of the Capitol building for a reconnaissance mission to, you know, to gather intel.
Yeah.
So
I know they were passing around maps, like maps of underground tunnels, all that stuff. I mean,
right. So it's
just imagine if they were actually armed and more dangerous than they were.
Yeah, it's like you were saying, though, there was probably just like a subset of the people there, because a lot of those people were old when you go back and look at them.
Yeah,
but you know, there's a small group of, not a small group, but you know, a small chunk of the people that were there that were, you know, let's do some shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
there's more and more video coming out of stuff. Like people smashing windows. Like there was a video I saw that I hadn't seen until this morning of this guy getting arrested. Yeah, they just tackled the shit out of him. He was smashing all kinds of windows and stuff. And like, yeah, it's just, you see things like that where it only takes a few people to start doing something, and then the rest of the group is like, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? This is what we want.
Yeah, especially when you've been smoking Bammer weed all day and drinking Natty Ice, you know,
right.
Mixing a few rails of meth.
What's wrong with Natty Ice?
And you're ready to go, you know?
Pretty wild, man.
You're ready to go. But the yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. But I'm not, you know, people are worried and, oh gosh, none of that shit. There's not going to be a civil war. You know why? Because the NFL playoffs are going on, and they're going to at least wait till baseball season to start one. So we got till the summer to kind of ride it out, see how Joe's going to do, and hopefully people would have calmed down by then. But
hopefully so.
It's a small chunk of people, and we're still trying to placate them by, oh gosh, if we impeach him, this is going to cause even more of a divide.
Yeah, come on,
we're already divided. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. You know? And you joking around about, like, you know, NFL and all that. But like there's actually some truth to that, man. Like the way people that all the people that were getting arrested coming off of planes and shit, just like they were going to jet down there for the weekend and then come back and just go back to their normal life. Like they almost all thought it
Yeah.
was like
That
it
I
was,
mean, I
I don't
hated to see
understand.
that. I hated to see that too, because I have this impression that, white people get away with everything. And
Right.
it's not, my little theory is not working out. I keep seeing these fools
You
getting,
guys are supposed to be the superior race. What are you
yeah,
doing?
it's a just an inspiration, it's envy. Like, oh wow, these fools, get the cruise home, go to the lake, get the jet ski, hang out.
Right.
But that's not happening now. Fools are getting
Yeah.
rounded up.
And it's
So that's
sad
good.
to see that how like dumb some of these people were, or how ignorant they were to just like, oh, I'm just gonna go back to my normal life after this, as if it's, I don't even know like what the fuck they were thinking, man.
Just that entitlement.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you? That one guy at the airport was the two cops were on top of him, and he screams out, "You're treating me like a black person,"
Yeah.
with the two police officers on him just because they're arresting him and stuff. And it's just like, I love that guy.
Got
Speak
'em.
the truth, baby.
Right.
These are the feelings you have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, look, you already know my point of view. They might be rounding them up, but come on. He reminds me of my nephew. Let's give him a break.
Right.
He's a good guy. Come
Yeah.
on. He served. What are we doing? You treat him like a black guy. You know what I mean? Like,